What's going on? How are y'all doing? Okay, today's topic is, should I file medical exam with my case? I discussed this previously, and look, folks, if you are applying for adjustment of status, and you may have heard in the past, oh, you don't have to provide a medical exam, you can do it later. This is 2023. There's a new thing going on, and the USCIS and the Biden administration want to actually process your case faster. Do they want to approve your case? I'm not sure, but they definitely want to process your case faster. But look, the past 2 months, we've been receiving emails. Okay? This is like really rare. Emails directly from USCIS field office saying, as a courtesy notice, courtesy email saying, please provide a medical exam. Now, it's such an automatic thing that they don't even look at your actual case. So we had several clients that asked about it. Because we told clients that, look, they're not even looking at your file, even though we know we have it on our table list of documents that we provided your medical exam with the file. So it's such a strange thing that even some clients thought, John, or blah, blah, T Law Group, how come you didn't provide our medical exam? How come USCIS doesn't have our medical exam? Who cares? Who cares? Just get it in. Ask your clinic, okay? Even if you already provided one before, ask your clinic if they don't mind providing another one for free. Look, honestly, I know pandemic, people have different budgets, but look, you're about to get your green card. And sure enough, I mean, we gave clients 3 options, okay? If I can remember what they are: sit tight, wait a couple of weeks to see if they actually send you a paper notice to approve your case without having to provide a medical exam, assuming you already provided one, okay? I see a lot of comments. I'll get to it soon. I got to go through the topic of the day, the question of the day, which is, should I file a medical exam with my case? Friends, welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm your host, John Ting. I practice law and immigration law in all 50 states of America, helping you solve your immigration problem and maybe even prevent it from happening in the first place. Okay, so I wouldn't call this a problem, but just a real-time update that's been going on the past couple months that you need to know. So I'm not one of those law firms that attorneys say, like, hey, you need to hire a lawyer, of course, even though it'd probably be better to get tips like this real time. So this is as real time as possible. If you have a pending adjustment of status case, or one that you've already filed, and let's say you already provided the sealed medical exam, and you're like, why would my attorney, or why would I receive? So by the way, our clients received the same email. We were CC'd and all that. So of course, we responded quickly to update the client what's going on. And here's the deal. USCIS is trying to process your cases so much faster that they don't even look at the freaking file. It's so crazy. It's kind of funny in a way. It's kind of humorous. So I think one of the last options, the third option was saying, if you're in the scenario, you're ready to provide medical exam, one of our clients was able to get another one, okay, in a sealed envelope. We just mailed it straight to USCIS field office. And sure enough, less than 1 week, folks, 2 clients that we just did it for. 2 clients, less than 1 week. Actually, I think the client said it was delivered on a Friday, and then by today's Tuesday, yesterday, we got the approval. Okay, because our team checks the receipt notice every week, at least every week. So not for every client, but it depends on the scenario, depending on the timing of the case. That's how fast it was. Okay, so even if you're ready to provide a medical exam, don't be frustrated about it. Consider it the golden ticket. Look, they're actually moving your case along, okay? And I think that client's case was filed maybe around Christmas. And we actually had to refile it because the government thought we used the old form, which we did, but it was still in use. The edition date changed late Christmas, okay? So I see the comments. I'll get to it soon. I appreciate the questions. But look, and if you haven't, the other reason I want to go live today is share this question about, should I file medical exam with my case, is really also to help folks who have not filed yet. And because I know y'all hear things, you're like, okay, I do it this way, do it that way. Look, hear it from the source. Okay, hear it from a licensed attorney. Okay, that yes, if you're filing for adjustment of status, doesn't matter if it's through your adult son or daughter over 21, U.S. citizen, or your spouse, okay, or partner, whatever you want to call it, but you have a marriage license and it's been recorded through the county, then you need to provide the medical exam. If you want your case to be processed as fast as possible, give your case the best possible chance for that, and also to possibly get your case waived for an interview, medical exam, folks. Get it done. Don't wait. And it usually, by the way, you need to call. It's not just any doctor you can talk to. You got to go to the USCIS website. There's tools and resources. There's a spot for find a doctor. They have to be certain doctors or clinics have to be authorized through USCIS. It's just the way the government works. So check that out. Okay, we'll try to provide a link later after the show so you have access to it. I see some questions. I think that's pretty much what I want to share. Okay, so don't wait on those. Oh, and it takes about a week. I think most clinics that our clients go to average 1 week turnaround for the clinic to give you the medical exam. And by the way, another tip here, man, I'm sharing a lot of real-time tips here, folks. You want to make sure that you get a sealed envelope, because don't open it. If you want a copy of your records, your medical exam, ask them for a separate copy, okay? Which some of our clients do. I think it's good that you have the info anyway. And another tip is ask the clinic if you need to print the form. Okay, it's the 693 form. You can find it on the USCIS website. We have it ready for our clients in a Dropbox folder from the get-go, so we don't waste time. But yeah, some of our clients have said that clinics ask them to print it. So hey, we take another step forward, proactive, to get it available for our clients. All right, folks, let's see here. Okay, Instagram and YouTube. I see some questions. Har Karan 0555. You asked about F4. Let me know what stage of the process you're in. Did you have a brother or sister file for you already? 2010, it looks like. Yeah, 2010. Okay, well, let's take a look. And you're from India. Okay, visa bulletin. Not my favorite topic, but it's a necessary thing to share about. And let's see here what the visa bulletin shows for that. I'll go through it real quick. I'm not going to be able to answer every single question about F4 or visa bulletin, because again, it's not my favorite topic right now. But let's see. I'm sharing my screen here. Visa bulletin. If your family preference, relationship, or category, it's very important you check at the minimum every 6 months. Okay, yes, Department of State, they're very slow to issue out these visas, but you still need to check it, because if you miss it, you're going to have to restart. Okay, and what you're looking for is your priority date. So like Harkaran has a priority date. I'm assuming that's a priority date, 2010. The month is preferable, but it might not matter at this. I am answering your question, but maybe you're not. So if you, Harkaran, I'm answering your question right now. I'm talking about your situation right now. So if you don't think I'm answering your question, it's probably because I don't have enough info. You need to share more information. It sounds like maybe are you in the U.S.? Doesn't sound like you are, because you said, please help me to enter the U.S. So adjustment of status is the process. There's really two pathways, just a general pathway for residency. Adjustment of status is if you're in the U.S. right now and you also maintain your non-immigrant visa status, or unless you meet an exception. But adjustment of status is the phrase for you're in America right now. Okay. Consular processing is if you're outside the U.S. Okay. So if you're abroad. So Karan, sounds like you're outside the U.S. So it's consular processing. Adjustment of status has nothing to do with your case. All right. So you're probably wondering, maybe the adjustment of status phrase is in your radar because USCIS has just updated to use the chart B, early filing date or something, to for the Child Status Protection Act. It's just a complicated, it's complex, so I'm not going to go through that right now, but it mentioned it's only for adjustment of status, so that might be why you're asking about it. Oh, it's not for you. Your father's sister. Okay, so your aunt petitioned for your pops. Okay, so how old are you, by the way? Because I mean, I'm sorry, I don't like to ask about age, but yeah, you need to be aware about the CSPA, Child Status Protection Act. Okay, that might be relevant for you. Can you expedite F4 visa? You actually typically don't want if you're still is your petition still processing? Um, that was 2010. Okay, so let's look at something else. Let's look at UNCIS tools and resources, case processing time. Let's see. Okay, so you should be able to see it right here. Oh, that's weird. It's still showing. Let me remove that one and show a new screen. Okay, the window. There we go. Okay, folks. So I-130 petition. You're filing for what's for your pops. I'm just gonna guess it's California Service Center. There's so many. So scrolling down. Oh boy, 80% of these cases, it's just a rough estimate. They always say 80% under Biden administration. I would think is actually a little bit more accurate in the Biden administration than prior administrations, but 79.5 months. Now, look, you might be really concerned about it. You might be really frustrated about 79.5 months. I can't do math right now, but that's a lot. That's what at least. Don't hold me to this. Oh, man. How many years is that? Someone want to comment below how many years that is? So you can do the math faster than I can. But yeah, that's a heck of a long time. But don't worry, okay? If your petition's still going, now what I would be worried about, I wouldn't worry if, let's say, like Harkaran's situation, if you're like way younger than 21 years old. I'm sorry, if you're about to age out, okay, meaning being over 21. Because the way the formula works with Child Status Protection Act, here you got me talking about this now, CSPA, is that the longer that the petition takes to process, the way the formula works, it tends to help protect your age. Because of the petition, like we just reviewed one yesterday, do the calculation, everything. If it's like processed in like less than a year and you've already aged out, you're over 21, you're likely not going to be covered. Likely covered, not covered, meaning you're not going to be included as a derivative as your parents' case or something like that. So Harkaran, hopefully that makes sense. So you're trying to say, I'm trying to say, yeah, you're 17 years old. Yeah, so it might be a little close. I don't know. Your petition approved in 2014, so it's already been approved. So about 4 years processing. So yeah, now it's up to the visa bulletin. So if you're wondering why it's still okay, your petition approved, and you're wondering, well, why does it feel stuck? Okay, you take a look at. Well, you're on Instagram. I forgot, Harkron, you're on Instagram. I'm showing my screen on YouTube and Facebook. So if you want to see what I'm sharing with y'all, I'm sharing the visa bulletin. I share the processing times. You can take a look at was processing times with the petition, not with the next step. Unfortunately, there is no processing time schedule when your petition is already approved for the next step. And that's because if you look at the screen here, and I see more comments, it's great. Thank you so much. I'm happy. It's been my pleasure to help point you in the right direction. But if you look here under family preference, for example, even employment-based preference, they have limited visas to provide to each category. I like to call it based on relationship. Okay. So even for employment-based, let me scroll down. Employment-based is done by percentage, whereas family-based does it by, F2B is done by percentage and F2A, but for the most part, it's done by a specific number, which is, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a politician. I don't know what could be better right now, but yeah, they need to fix something about the visa bulletin, the allotment of visas in general. So hopefully, looking at final action date, Hakaran, yours is your dad's for F4, and you're from India, I believe you said. Oh boy, they're working on cases right now for September 2005. and you said that your dad's priority date is 2010. Okay, so you're about 4 to 5 years out. Just that's a rough estimate. You really need to check this visa bulletin every 6 months at the minimum. Okay, so again, if you're jumping on YouTube, you can see it. But yeah, it's a critical topic. And here's the deal, folks. The reason why, even though I don't like talking about CSPA or visa bulletin, it's quite complex, but it's a very important topic because most people that call us are also, it's not just like people who are getting married, because I know it's a difficult to find the right fit. So, but maybe you had a family member sponsor you, but it's family preference. And yeah, some people call us and it's too late. They think we can reopen it. And yeah, we ask certain questions like, did you pay the fee? Did you take action to the next step, to do the next step? So folks, if you have similar questions, even though it's one of the more complex, we're happy to see if we can point you in the right direction to answer it. Or and maybe just be the bad news bears. And we like to provide proof. So, in our calculation, so you can see it. So yeah, if Hakaran is talking about like the visa bulletin that, let me see if I can find that policy update. The CSPA that just came out, I believe, a couple months ago. Let's see. Yeah, February. Okay, so here it is. Okay, let me see if I can increase the size. All right, February 14th. Hey, Valentine's Day. So USCIS updates Child Status Protection Act age calculation for certain adjustment of status applicants. So if you're outside America, this does not apply to you. It's just like when our marketing team shared a success story with one of our clients, or we have several clients in this situation that we filed the case for adjustment of status and it got approved in 3 months. 3 months. This whole new thing in 2023 is wonderful. So take advantage, folks. It's not going to be available all the time. President Biden might not get reelected. Do I hope he gets reelected? I'm not sure. But, for immigration purposes, do not wait. Okay? Do not wait. The fees are going to increase. It's going to happen this year. The fees were attempted to, President Trump tried to increase it, did the rule proposal like I shared with you all comment period before. I think 2016, 2017, around that time period, or pretty much the entire time he was there, he was trying to be anti-immigration, of course. But that didn't go through because there were lawsuits now by the Democrats, presumably. I think it's a safe assumption. But now no one's fighting it because the Democrats are the one proposing it. So, they're in office. So they're just letting it slide, of course. So, pros and cons of each political party. No one's perfect. But if you're a U.S. citizen and you're watching this, please exercise your right to vote. If you're a permanent resident of America, and you're just kind of sitting on that status, but you're eligible to become a U.S. citizen, please don't wait, okay? Please become a U.S. citizen so you can exercise your right to vote. Of course, that's just one of several benefits of becoming a U.S. citizen. Folks, if you're not aware already, I know I'm not dressed like a lawyer right now because I went to court yesterday. You got to check out one of my videos, short videos on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. I don't know if our team put it on Instagram, but went to court, had another success story out there in Houston Immigration Court, and got a case dismissed based on prosecutorial discretion. And it took preparation to get our team ready, get our client ready, and it happened. Okay, it was a lot easier these days. Not every case are able to get dismissed, but there's in previous administrations, whether even with President Obama's administration, it wasn't that easy. We really had to put like a much thorough argument. It took like 30 minutes before. Now it took much less time. They like actually looking at our documents. They're paying attention. So anyway, just want to share those good news. A lot more comments. Thanks so much. Yeah, if you get value from our live show, please smash the hearts, click the like button, follow us, subscribe, whatever it is on whatever platform you're on. Greatly appreciate it. Okay. All right, let me switch over to Hakaran. Hopefully that helps give you some idea. But in terms of your last question, how to expedite F4, you can't really. I mean, you can expedite if you have if it's probably more like an immediate relative. We haven't tried expedite for a family preference just because it's visa allocations. You can't. I don't believe you can skip the line, but there is an NVC or expedite process pathway, or you could say inquiry through NVC. Okay, but generally you can't skip the line if you're family preference because of the visa allocation, the limitation. Okay, all right. John Sour Apples, what's going on, sir? Your question is, you have a couple questions about 864. I'll try to answer it. We try not to go in too much detail, of course, but let's see. You got a 1099 from your employer, and it's for 37,000. And after you take all the expenses out, you're left with 24. Will that work to sponsor both your parents? Okay, well, let's take a look. And also, how important are previous year's taxes? Not so important. The previous years, not so important. Don't worry. And especially help when I know I have a video about poverty guidelines or minimum requirements. It's one of my top videos, actually. Surprisingly, I just put information out there. But yeah, because pandemic, some people may have worked less or not worked at all. John Sour Apples, it could be $0 in previous years. What they care about, or what they should care about, is focusing on current income. So what I recommend in general is make sure you get at least at the end of the year, is a W-2 or a 1099. Okay, because some people have talked to us and said, I don't know if I have that. And I'm like, well, did you get your taxes withheld, at the paycheck, basically? Or you're literally getting like a paycheck, like the old school way, right? So if you get like literally a paycheck, then more likely it's where we're like scribbling instead of like through a system, then more likely probably 1099. But anyway, to answer John Sour Apples, oh boy, I'm not going to be able to answer all y'all's questions. I would love to. I got to jump to a client meeting actually in 5 minutes. 64p. So this is what I'm pulling up for y'all. Okay, John Sour Apples. Hopefully you're still on because I joined a little bit later than anticipated. Okay, assuming you're in one of the 48 contiguous states, so not Alaska or Hawaii, or you live in Puerto Rico or Guam, and you're not in the military, so you follow the right column. Let's see. So you're filing for 2 people, right? And assuming you don't have kids or children, then it'd be a household size of 31,075. Okay, so 31,075. So John Sour Apples, you may need to. Okay, this is a question again. Will that work to sponsor both his parents if he has 24,000 after you take out all your expenses? So what you need to look at is the adjusted gross income. Okay, you take a look at that. It's very, very important. Let me see if I can go back a step here to share the screen. A lot of people have been asking about this. Let's see if we can share a link here. But what you need to show, oh my gosh, I see this comment on Instagram. GoTrek4884. Hopefully you're still on. You apply for I-130 form almost 7 months ago. Okay, well, I thought that was going to say 7 years. But 7 months ago, I mean, especially if it's based on spouse, that's about accurate. Could take about 10 months, but if it's like a family preference category, it's going to take longer. Okay. And it's really because I do that intentionally. Not that they couldn't rubber stamp the approval. It's because of the most likely delayed because of the visa bulletin. Okay. Okay, so what I like to do here is, okay, what they look at here, sorry, it's a little small. This is the instructions, 864 instructions, and they look at total income, okay? I said adjusted gross income, I mean total income. For the purpose of this affidavit, the line for total income on the IRS form 1040 or 1040A will be considered for determining income. Okay. If you're filing based on 1040EZ form, the line for adjusted gross income will be considered. Okay. So in general, I don't recommend the form 1040EZ. It is a lot better in the sense that it's only like 3 pages, whereas the 864 is like 8 pages. But my goodness, USCIS these officers just like I don't say reject, but they sent RFE saying, well, I need the 864 form, not the EZ. I was like, okay, whatever. That just takes more time. So if you want a smooth process as possible or faster, you want to do the 864. Okay. I know it's like counterintuitive. All right. So John Sour Apples, hopefully that helps you. You said, just scrolling down, assuming you were going to comment. So all I need is AGI over the minimum. What I'm left with is not that important. I guess it just depends on the line item. So I would recommend the total income based on what I just shared on the screen. Okay, total income, because if you're using the 864 form, okay, so whatever works for you. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, your form is a 1040. So I just mean the government form, USCIS. I mean, yeah, 1040 is government form also. So hopefully that helps, John Sour Apples. Okay, great. Let's see here. Sorry, I gotta get to this client soon. A lot of great questions. Okay, NS, you filed your AOS case. Let me send a message to our team. Okay, you filed AOS case a month ago, done biometrics. You got the RFE for medical, which you sent back to NBC. Is it likely I just got approved for a green card on my case, not transfer NBC to a local field office? Oh, you got the you got the lingo down, the FO. Okay. That's great. It's okay if you didn't send to the local field office. For me recently, for us, we were requested to send it to the field office. So if your RFE said to send it to NBC, which can happen, then that's okay. Send it to where it requested to be sent to. And look, that's even better. If it could skip the field office, just bypass those folks, even better. I'd be really impressed. Okay. It was a formal medical RFE. So that's even better because typically a formal RFE comes from the local office when it comes down to medical. So it just means they're looking at the file sooner. Okay. So if you receive the courtesy email asking for medical, most just based on conversations with other attorneys, my friends, it's likely a triggered automatic email. Okay. They didn't look at your file, but if you got a formal on paper, then they actually need your medical, so that they actually looked at it. So that's good. So it should be less concerned about providing more evidence than that. They would have asked for it. Rocks. Oh, what's going on my computer? Rocks Roberts. I don't know. I haven't recognized your name if that's your real name on our system, but I'll check it out. You would love to hire concern. Okay, you're concerned. Rocks Roberts is concerned about having a mandatory COVID vaccine. Union partner will be going through spousal route very soon. You need the best attorney to make sure we get approved ASAP. Hey, that's what we're all about, Rocks. Rocks Roberts, the getting your case filed sooner than later, and that's all based on our plan, our 3 different service plans. So Rocks, I'm not sure if we sent you like a quote or not already. It sounds like we did because you're saying expensive, but yeah, the most expensive, of course, is what we call the max plan. If you're getting ready, for folks that already received a quote from us, you might want to consider the pro plan. So typically all our plans in general is just based on how soon you want to file a case, right? So max plan is we really intend, and sometimes we don't get it done in 30 days, the max plan, but we work with you. Like, of course, it's teamwork. If you don't give us the evidence in time, or it takes more follow up with you, it's okay. It just takes a little more time. We just want to be intentional with clients that you want you to know that we're on top of your case, okay? That we're gonna bug you, okay? We're gonna tap on your shoulder at least once a week to see what's going on, okay? Um, but you're concerned, so hopefully it helps. I still don't think we're as expensive, to be honest, compared to other people who have a larger team. Some people have larger team than we do, actually, but um, they're like way more expensive. But by the way, folks, if you are concerned about like also like if you're in Houston or Dallas and you want to meet one of us and ask us, please. We're happy to do that because I know that sometimes like a in-person meeting helps, but yet we're not a virtual law firm intentionally. We have an office, by the way, okay, where we have team members there, but at the same time we take advantage of the technology and have these video consultations, so you don't even have to drive. But absolutely, if you want to meet in person, let us know. We'll try to find the time. But Rox Roberts, your other concern about the vaccine, I'm sorry on behalf of the U.S. government, even though I can't really speak on their behalf. Yeah, that is required for foreign nationals, even though, of course, there's no requirement for U.S. citizens at this point. So, but yeah, there is a waiver for that, the 601. But I believe you can't just pick and choose which vaccine you don't want. Like if you have the religious belief or it's against your culture ethics to take any vaccine, then that'd be more a suitable reason to apply for waiver. So, I mean, I can't tell you what's suitable or not, but of course, it's just the government. Okay, hate to say it that way, but hey, Wes, good evening. I guess it's evening where you are. If someone have TB, can they be denied for that? Yes, they can. So, hopefully, it's a TB that's I can't remember what you call it. Not conditional, but basically not as severe. I believe they have different levels, okay, of that severity. It won't let you ask questions on YouTube. That's strange. Well, you're on Facebook, so it's okay. Thanks for being here. More watch. Is a COVID vaccine mandatory for my spouse files and I go to medical? It's only for any of these like medical test, exam, 693 form, the COVID vaccine. That's only for the foreign national. Okay, so if you're talking about like your sponsor, your resident sponsor or U.S. citizen sponsor, they don't have to take the vaccine. Okay, hopefully that helps. How long does a waiver take after overstay? Like the application? Well, if you overstayed your visa, I mean, I need to know more facts, of course, but if you overstayed your visa, then you don't. Just generally speaking, you don't need a waiver unless there's other what we call inadmissibility grounds that trigger your immigration history. But about entry, if you enter a visa, you don't need a waiver. But if you entered without a visa, then the default is yes, you need a waiver. Okay, for unlawful presence. Try to run through these because I do need to jump to a meeting. What does case dismiss? Internet says asylum case has also ended without final decision. Can't understand a word. What I mean, my reference to case dismiss as a successful case is it's not with USCIS, it's with the court. Okay, so if like marriage cases, for example, immigration benefit, we always prefer if you have a court case, we get that dismissed so USCIS can process that case. Lawyers call it adjudicate. Okay. Let's see here. More watch. You say you need to hire us. Happy to chat with you. More watch. Happy to share our team is happy to share a quote so you can do all the proper so we can help you. Okay. Want to make sure that you're comfortable with everything that we offer. Tanya, friend, my lawyer asked us to get a medical exam even before we were approved at NVC. Maybe they want to see for themselves. Medical. Well, if your case is consular processing, you can't. I don't know why they would tell you to get a medical exam. That's weird because you usually get the medical exam. What triggers to get medical exam when you're abroad, do consular processing is when you finally get the notification, okay, you're gonna get an interview, or here's your interview date. Then that's when you schedule a medical exam, because otherwise it could be invalid, right? The timing of waiting. Rox Roberts, you're welcome. NS, is it likely USCIS will respond to medical RFE within 60 days? If they do not need more evidence, is a decision most likely? I think I may have answered. Oh, you just posted this. Yeah, I answered it a bit earlier ago, but yeah, most likely they're going to approve it, because if they sent you a formal RFE, they most likely 99% of the time would have already asked for more evidence. Okay, so good luck, NS. Hopefully that helps you. And Tanya, back to you. Yeah, you're probably going to have to get another medical exam later on. Okay, just expect that. Okay, doesn't mean your lawyer did anything bad. Hope not. I mean, at least proactive, I guess. But let's see. Any more questions here that I really got to go? Matt T. Perez, you're probably not on anymore. Let's see here. Thank you for doing this. You're welcome. You filed 485, received letter, provide evidence, which you did return that back. Okay, Rox, talk to you soon. Appreciate it. Responding to multiple comments at once. Multitasking apparently is not doable. Provide evidence which you submit shortly after, but we haven't heard back for 80 days. There's a specific time frame. Okay, well, I see why people ask this. Yeah, typically it's fairly quick these days. So, I mean, it makes it seem like you did file it 80 days ago, respond to it. So, I mean, I'm assuming you got it delivered to the correct place. You mailed it to the correct place, so you got the tracking number, everything. But yeah, just make sure on that, okay? Matty, been waiting 6.5 years. My goodness. Okay, well, Matty Perez, you might need to contact us if you haven't heard anything on next month. Hakaran, if you're still on, if your father came on B1, B2, visitor visa is eligible to adjust only if he maintains his non-immigrant status. Okay, so the likelihood of that is not likely by the time eligible to file the next application. Navia, sorry, this is going to be a last question for today. Appreciate it. By the way, if you are still on, appreciate it, and you haven't contacted us before, we do offer free 15-minute preliminary consultation. No pressure to hire us. We just want to be able to point you in the right direction. People call us for a number of questions, some that we don't actually offer a service like visitor visa, but we do have a free guide that we're able to share with you to just give you some pointers, okay? Because I know some people have concern like, how can I sponsor someone with a visitor visa? It's not really a sponsorship anyway. So back to Navia. So the best way to contact us is our number above on YouTube or Facebook, or down below on Instagram, okay? Or you go to our website, greencardguys.com, and click on Take a Quiz, because not everyone qualifies for free consult, but mostly, okay? Okay, let's see here. I think I answered anyone's question, right? Navi, you said you filed AOS a month ago, biometrics done, got medical RFE already? Wow, that's awesome. Amazing. Congratulations. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be approved soon, most likely. All right. I feel like I answered this question somewhere else. Okay, cool. All right. Appreciate it, folks. Thank you so much. This is a great session. I love answering questions. So join us tomorrow. Well, tomorrow I'm going to be on LinkedIn, but on Thursday and Friday, I'll be back on YouTube. Okay. Thank you so much, and you'll have a wonderful day.